Hello and welcome to another episode of Two Stoned Apes. I am Sean Stones himself. This is Nicholas Williams, Esquire.
That's my full
Go
name.
for that. And this week we are going to be discussing, amongst other things,
Life many tangents.
Yeah, you have to excuse Nick's room. He hasn't tidied it, so there's a few models to learn about. Yeah. What are we talking about then?
Life after death.
Yeah, that's.
Or is there a death after life?
Yeah. Who knows?
Who knows?
We don't know.
You be the judge.
Well,
let us be the judge.
Yeah. Or just wait until hopefully you're old and then
we'll find out.
Die. Oh, you won't find out because there might not be one, and you might
be a big joke at the end.
Yeah. You might wake up and it might all be a dream.
You could get told that it was all a riddle. You were supposed to figure out the riddle. And you didn't figure out the riddle.
Yeah.
So now you got to do the riddle all over again. And time becomes a flat circle.
So what's your theories? Have you got any? What do you think?
Well, that kind of was one then. I think life is a riddle or a program to solve, or problem to solve rather. You just got to read it, experience it with an open mind and open heart, and try and figure out all the answers for yourself in your own way, in your own unique reality, from your conscious standpoint.
Yeah.
And then at the end of it, hopefully, you have a blinding light of knowledge and epiphany, and then maybe go to the fourth dimension or somewhere. The next level up.
I think there is something after. Like we've come from something. We haven't just like. There's more to it. There's got to be.
It can't be just this. It can't be born.
Yeah.
Born, go learn the basics, go to school. Leave school, you go to university or get a job. You leave university, you get a job anyway. So you're in job, marriage, kids, retirement, cancer,
death.
Is that it? Is that the whole 4 billion years of human evolution has led us to nothing?
If that is it, then
absolutely nothing.
If that's it, then that's pretty fucking like depressing.
If that had been explained to me exactly what it is, and I had a choice at the beginning whether I wanted to go into it, probably would have gone, I'll see it when it comes around next time.
Sack it.
Oh, wait another 25,000 years until it comes around again. Or that was a random amount of time. But whatever. Next, the new age. When the new age comes in, I think it is roughly 25,000 years.
Yeah, so
new age comes in, I'll say, I'll give it a try this time. It seems a bit better than it used to be.
I'm pretty sure that isn't it. It's got to be like we've come from something. We've come from something.
Yeah.
Like, I'm Sean, you're Nick. We've come from something.
It's like they do these studies on the final moment just before you're about to die. And they've done lots of studies, and everyone seems to say they want to go home.
You said your nan.
My nan said the exact same thing. She said she was mentally home already. Because she was talking about how she was with her mum. She's back in Ireland with her mum, and it was like maybe heaven had been created there in front of her eyes, and she could see where she was. And then she said she wants to go home. And this is it.
And that was it.
Back to the source, maybe. Maybe it is back to this. Maybe it's like there is just a one collective consciousness that contains everything. And you're going back to the original source, or maybe you're just spread out across the universe. Every particle comes down, breaks down to its individual part, and spreads out throughout many other.
I liked your theory. What you said. I think it was last time I saw you anyway. I don't know when it was. You said the water theory. What you were saying.
Oh yeah. Like my idea of consciousness being like water, or being able to explain consciousness like explain water, the same language. Because maybe it's like you have a glass of water, and it's a singular glass of water. You pour that on the table, and it's water. It's a plural. It's several water. It's not even a number of water. It's water. So if the consciousness is sort of materialized or into the materialistic world through a medium of a body, it's a body, a conscious mind in a body, So once that body's broken down and the consciousness is released back out into the universe, it becomes all of that. Because when you talk about water, you talk about all water. There is water here. You don't say there is this amount of water here, but that's not part of this water over here. It's just water. No matter what it is or where it is. Like, and that's maybe the same with consciousness.
Yeah.
It just goes back to just being this consciousness that's everywhere, and this just goes back to that, maybe.
Yeah, I think
the body's just a vessel to hold it in, like the pint glass.
Yeah, or just like say you're getting in a car, like you get in a car. Oh, sorry.
Can't see me.
Yeah.
You wouldn't want that.
You get in a car, and you drive the car. You like, I would see like you are the consciousness of the car. So you're driving the car, and that's like your body is sort of like a vehicle, just similar to a car. Like,
yeah, exactly. That's exactly it.
Because I believe your consciousness is separate. Yeah, it's separate to your like body. Like, I believe it is. I can't see how it can't be. So because there is like we were saying, there's
a vehicle. It's a vehicle through life. It's on a sort of fact-finding, like information collecting mission. Like this collective source of consciousness wants to know everything. Yeah, because as a human,
like we were saying before, there's nothing to explain human emotion. Like if you love someone, like the emotion of love.
Yeah.
There's nothing that explains it.
We just watched Terrence McKenna, and he said that it's like saying you know Los Angeles because you've read the phone book, and we've learned all the names and everything that's connected to the plant, and we've invented names for them all, and we know what they do. And you can't explain love, and you can't explain pain or a messiah. Like you know what the components are, but you don't know why or how they work really. Yeah.
It's just that's it. Like it's so beyond, I think, our comprehension that we could sit here all night and talk about it, and we'll never get anywhere near close. But I definitely think that there is something more out there. There is something after death. I don't believe you just die and then that's it. You're gone forever. Like,
no,
that's it.
It can't.
Yeah, it can't.
We're back. We had a technical upset, but we are back, and I forgot what we were saying. Remember, we were talking about the body as a vehicle.
Yeah.
The vehicle for the conscious mind. The idea of like the source, the consciousness, where our consciousness stems from, is kind of perhaps it's on like a fact-finding mission. It's on an information-based mission where it just wants to know everything, and that emulates into our brains and our bodies. It manifests the consciousness manifests its desires and its wants to gather information by our own human need and desire to gather information and feel things and touch things, smell them and see them and work out what they are and why they're there and what they can do for us and how they work. And our entire being is information gathering.
Yeah.
We gather food for sustenance and to keep our body going. We gather information to keep our minds going. We gather love to keep our hearts going.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's those three components, and one of the main ones is information.
Yeah. Because humans are like, just by nature, we're always thriving.
Parts, really,
yeah, we're all thriving. We're always thriving to learn, to progress. We're a progressive race, aren't we?
Yeah. We sometimes too much where it becomes destructive.
Yeah,
like it has done in almost every sort of thing we've discovered or found out. We've gone through a destructive process of raping the earth and destroying environments and enslaving people in order to manufacture this invention or discovery and manifest it physically, and then also capitalize off it or utilize it. It starts off destructive. The Industrial Revolution killed like millions of people through poisonous and toxic gases in the air and smog. It's crazy. They just ripped through forests.
Yeah.
It just tore up the environment, and all in order to harness burning fossil fuels that they've ripped out of the ground.
Yeah.
And they can't put back and they can't replace.
Also, don't they say that there's only a certain amount of resources on the planet? So I'm not really up on it.
Yeah, it's obviously like.
And we're coming to the end of it now.
Coal and oil are renewable, but they renew far slower than they're getting taken out. That's the problem. And everything's renewable, right? Because it was created over a process. Yeah. Process of plant matter being trodden down into the ground, and then the pressure of
compressed.
Is it something? Yeah, the pressure of the ground, and the heat, and all that, and many probably other forces involved. Yeah, compress it and condense it, and like carbon gets condensed so much it becomes a diamond. Yeah. I don't know a lot about it, and I'm probably sounding like an idiot, but
I think that is roughly it, though. I think.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're not geologists, are we?
But I mean, if human beings left it alone for the next million years, it'd probably all be back. But we won't. We're digging it out at a terrifying
rate. Because as well as being progressive, we're also selfish, aren't we? So, so
hedonistic as well.
Yeah.
Like, we want to do something, we're going to do it no matter what. No matter what. But that's led to massive changes and positive changes as well. That have come, like the fact that they test nuclear energy regardless of whether other people want them to do it, and regardless of how dangerous it is. The Hadron Collider, there's protests against having that machine made because they thought it could just destroy everything. Yeah, it could just suck the planet up into a black hole. But the capital gain and the possible information gathered from that were enough for everybody to say that to outweigh the risks in the eyes of the people doing it, and it's quite scary when you think about how far humans are willing to go to get what they want. Yeah, willing to potentially, because they didn't know it definitely wouldn't create a black hole. Yeah, they weren't going, that's nonsense. No, they're going, there's a small chance we're all gonna die, and not just that, like everyone here is gonna die. Everyone ever was going to die. Yeah. And every animal that's on this planet, and every plant, and everything was going to go. There's a chance. I remember we're going to fucking do it anyway.
I remember all the media storm at the time. All the media shitstorm at the time was going on about it, and from what I gathered, through the media, they kind of played it down. They were like, yeah, it could, but like...
Yeah.
That's
it. That'd be silly. Yeah. Like, the boogeyman could be under your bed. It's not under your bed.
Yeah, it was kind of that sort of like.
Could have been.
No, it was that sort of vibe I was getting. It was it seemed like they were just kind of playing it down. They were making it out to be another like millennium. Do you know what I mean?
Go back to sleep.
Yeah.
People, go back to sleep. Minions, bury your head back in the sand.
Don't worry about it.
We'll look after you.
Watch EastEnders. Watch Coronation Street.
Yeah. Why are you worried about Hadron Colliders? Worry about what fucking Saskia and Tarquin are doing on whatever Chelsea, fucking made in Chelsea or whatever.
Yeah.
One of those freaks.
Who's dying?
Worry about that. Oh, worry about who's going to win X Factor. Don't worry about the reason.
Because there'll be no fucking X Factor if this goes wrong. Trust me.
Yeah. There'll be nothing left. It'll be, it's mind blowing, really. Too terrifying.
So moving swiftly on. Is there anything else that's grabbed your eye since the last podcast? Sorry to put you on the spot.
It's been on the spot.
Yeah.
What's happening with this Charlie Hebdo thing?
Oh yeah, because you're not really up on it, are you?
No,
you're a bit. Yeah.
I want to be in on business.
Yeah, like I'm not an expert on what's happened, but from what I've gathered, and there's a lot of conspiracy theories about it as well, but we won't go into them.
Oh, we can go into that.
You want to go into them? You want to delve into the murky depths?
Stick your head in the door.
Yeah. Well, obviously everyone knows what happened. There was a terrible shooting. Like the facts that we definitely know is that 15 people died, which is terrible. But then you've got to think. What I think is why. Like, keep going.
Yeah, let's go with this.
All right. I thought you were like just pissing off somewhere.
I'll be back.
I'll be back in 5. Let me know when you're done. Yeah. So 15 people died. Charlie Hebdo. And yeah, it's really a terrible thing what happened. And what we know is it's being perceived as terrorism, which, I mean, like we said before, that is just a word, isn't it?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
Terrorism isn't a word.
Yeah, like, yeah, tell me your analogy. Come on. He tells me this
He
every
loves this.
time.
He loves this, he does. What I'll do is I'll sit him down, I'll tell him.
He's always like this. Yeah, he
So,
says,
like, if I was to knock on your door, and you answer the door and I go, blah! And then walk away, and I was going to do it again every day for a week, and then the week after that, then the week after, I did it every day for a year, until it was genuinely terrifying you, because I wouldn't leave you alone. By terrorizing you, I'd be a terrorist. So how can it be used to describe a side of an argument, or a race of people, or a group, or a religion? How can it be used to just as a blanket term to just, you know, pick a group of people and call them that?
yeah.
Because they go up against your side of the deal. You go up against your team in the game.
It's like the classic good guys and bad guys, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like going back to like being a kid, like when you used to play cops and robbers.
Yeah, this American mentality is still stuck in these cowboys, myth and western fucking films and movies I used to watch, where it was the good guy is dressed in white, and the bad guy would be dressed in a black suit.
Yeah.
With a creepy looking moustache and slightly darker skin, and
yeah.
and the good guy in the white would come in with his morals and his ethics, and they would just wipe the town clean.
Like what I can't get my head around is when Raoul Mort got his gun and went and shot people. Nobody called him a terrorist.
Yeah.
Did they?
Yeah, exactly. But if you
you're
Muslim,
he was exactly the same as this guy. Like, well, at least I think it was 2 or 3 of them. Yeah, but they're terrorists. So obviously both pretty bad people. But how come one's a terrorist and one's
a raving lunatic?
Yeah.
Or a troubled man.
Yeah, troubled man. Yeah.
They actually went into the detail of trying to understand why Raoul Moat would do it, psychology behind it, what reasons he had in his life, and what circumstances led up to him doing that. But as soon as someone does it in a form that attacks a political group or a religious group, then no energy is put into trying to work out why he did it, what circumstances, who else have had a play in the build up. No one tries. No one thinks, well, ISIS, why are they so racist and angry? Well, look at where they come from. Look at what's been done to their countries and their towns and their family and loved ones for the last 60 years, 70 years of the fact that Americans been fucking with the whole West. We're not excluded. We're
fully. Well, I say we,
this
not
government.
us. Yeah, our government.
Just as much to do with it.
Yeah, it just seems kind of
We don't
ludicrous.
even try and understand their point of view.
And the thing I don't like about it is, it just gives like people, it kind of validates people being racist. Like people, that before a terrorist attack, they're saying stuff that they wouldn't feel comfortable saying after the terrorist attack. But they feel it validates them, so they can say it and get away with it. Do you know what I mean?
I think
it like demonises a certain group of people.
It's using the words as emotional triggers, and by using the word terrorist, the Americans do it, and the Americans are so obvious with it in their speeches. The word terrorist is repeated over and over again as an emotional trigger for fear, and the word democracy and God are repeated for emotional trigger for pride and blind following. It's crazy because you try, if you're explaining something in an extremely racist, extremely prejudiced, narrow-minded, angry and offensive way to someone who's scared, they're going to believe you.
Yeah.
Scared because
Scared and uneducated.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
It's a bad situation. Like, just all in all, it's just.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it's definitely. I'm pretty like. Unfortunately, it's not going to be the last one. There's going to be more.
Yeah.
It's probably going to be more in our country. There's going to be
Well, they
more.
reckon there's one coming to England soon.
Well, yeah,
A
but
big one,
but is that scaremongering? Like?
Yeah, it could be. I don't necessarily buy into it. I don't buy into anything that comes over from the mainstream press in the first place. I try and find it. Otherwise, it's taking control of your own personal information. Because you think, like, say, like we said earlier, that the food nourishes the body, love nourishes the heart, and information nourishes the brain. Well, I mean, loads of people are coming around to the idea of finding your best food, the best food that's going to give you the best nutrients and the best fuel for your body to develop and to progress. And people have always been looking for the right person, the right partner, the right group of friends to give them the love that's going to make them feel happiness and love and empathy and compassion and feed their heart. So why are we not doing it with information? Why are we sitting in front of the television and reading the newspapers that have been built by design by a small minority of people who have the majority of the world's wealth and power, and we're just taking it all in, and they're building our version of reality on top of that. You gotta find it. That's why the internet's such a revolutionary thing, and it could be the big change that they talk about when they're coming up to the new age. They go, there'll be an event, a world-changing event, and people think, oh, that's going to be a meteor, and the world's going to end. Or maybe the world is just the end of now and the beginning of the rest of time. You know, like it's a change. It's a little shift in consciousness, and maybe that's the internet giving information back to people. The thing about we couldn't have done this 20 years ago.
No, definitely
we'd have to have written scripts and censored them and make them so the people with the money would give us money to make the program.
And the only information you would get is what you hear on TV, which is biased information.
Exactly, so it's built by design.
The good thing about the internet
people
is
at the top
it's unpoliced. It's unpoliced. The internet. So
it causes some problems, granted, but it opens doors for a lot of self-expression.
Definitely. So, like I always say, like I say to you, I've said it loads of times to you recently, but you look at the motives behind the people saying it, don't you? So if someone's saying something and they have nothing to gain by saying it, I look into what they're saying. I think this person, he's got nothing to gain.
This is just like for us here, we're not making money doing this. We're just sat in my room on the video. Changing the thoughts. What motive have we got to lie?
It's just what we talk about in the pub, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. No matter what the outcome, whether what we're saying is like positive or negative or whatever direction we go in, we're not gaining anything from it except for just the ability to express ourselves and connect with people and share information. And that's uncorruptible. So
definitely.
Yeah, we're not. Yeah, not that anyone would think we were, but
no,
it's just that kind of mindset, isn't it?
You've got to look at the motives every time. I think. Like, if you look at Fox News or BBC or the major broadcasting corporations,
they've got reason.
They've got vested interest.
They've got avenues in which they can become corrupt, and they have done, and it's plain to see. It's plain to see when you have the main guy of BBC. He's got a seat in the House of Commons. Or the House of Lords, even. House of Lords, I think it was. And they're like, that's politics and entertainment. But then you go, oh, the government doesn't control the media. The government is the media.
Yeah.
The government is the media, and the government is the corporations. They're all the same. They're all people just putting on different shirts and putting on different faces to go to work and telling a slightly different version of the same story.
Yeah, definitely. They're all. It's not some mad conspiracy theory to think, the government is controlled by the media, because it's just blatantly, it's true. There's no way to. It's not.
We've got to take control of that. Take back control of information, just in the same way we take control back of our feelings, as in getting rid of this fear that's running through our society, like some sort of virus, tainting everyone's realities negatively, and we can start turning that fear into love, and we take back the food, we get rid of this junk food and these chemicals and these hormones and all the terrible things that get done to our food and to the animals that are part of that system. To really take back the information as well by not just watching television, not taking in that junk food that is on television, not sitting and watching Made in Chelsea or The Voice or Take Me Out, or the news. Even worse.
Yeah, even worse.
News.
Like that.
Go on the internet. That's what we said about the internet being so good. Go on the internet and just find out for yourself. Open but critical thinking at the same time. Open mind but critical thinking. Don't just believe anything, but work it out for yourself. Look at the motives. So as you said, look at the motives. Look at the information you have. Compare it against other sources. Like, you have to. You just got to work at it. I think that's what we try and do.
Definitely.
It's tough because then you start talking about weird things like chemtrails and consciousness, and suddenly everyone around you thinks you're weird. But you just got to stick at it, I think.
Yeah. You will get a lot of people that just think you're an idiot.
Yeah, I just don't talk to people anymore, unless they're like-minded. I think I have a limited range of things I can talk about now.
Yeah, I'm the same.
It's just I'm not saying I'm better or they're worse or either or other way around. It's no good or bad. It's just different. But my frames of reference are different to what they used to be, so I can't quite connect. I can't talk. I can connect to people, but I can't talk to people as well as I used to because my frames of reference are different now. It's a different perspective.
Yeah, if you start talking about like consciousness and stuff in the pub, to each other it's fine, but to just normal everyday guys, they'll just think, who's this fucking space cadet? Like, people don't want to know because it bursts their bubble, what they live in. So no one wants to, because it's quite fucking dark when you get into it. It's pretty fucking heavy.
It is. There's a book in there, actually. It says, by Neil Donald Walsh, life begins at the end of your comfort zone. You leave that comfort zone and you see what you've been missing all along. And suddenly you're introduced to new things, new perspectives, new ideas, and life just gets full. Instead of being empty, it starts to fill up again, and it's beautiful. So we're going to there.
Yeah, I think that's
got to be about 35 minutes now.
Yeah.
Thank you for tuning in to episode 2, and we'll see you next week with more thoughts. Leave comments, good or bad, as long as they're constructive. We want to hear your feedback, and we'll do episode 3 within the next 7 days. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.